A very good friend of mine, she wrote a lot of books, she had a lot of quotes, and she did a lot of very good things for the world. Her name is Teresa of Calcutta. She has many good things to say. Here's one of them. Confidence in God can do all things. It is our emptiness and lowliness that God needs, and not our plenitude. It is our emptiness and lowliness that God needs, and not our plenitude. This gospel passage today is one of my favorites. It's very dear and close to me for many different reasons. One of them being how Jesus responds and deals with the disciples. Here comes this massive group of people. It says 5,000 men, but we can translate that from the Greek to mean people. So whether it's 5,000 actual adult men or 5,000 men, women, and children, doesn't really matter, because that's a lot of people that the disciples cannot feed. The apostles keep giving him excuses. We don't have enough. We don't have enough. It's not gonna. We're not gonna do it. It's not enough. How many times have I said that to myself? Whether I'm in seminary, struggling, discerning, praying, studying. Lord, I haven't studied enough for this test. I'm not going to pass. Lord, I haven't gotten enough sleep tonight. I'm not going to be able to make it to Mass in the morning. God, I can't change the world. I'm not enough. And it's almost as if he looks at me and says each time, oh, I know. Give it to me anyway, and I'll do something with it. Maybe he says that to each one of you as well. Lord, I don't have enough knowledge, skills, or patience to raise my kids. I know. Bring them to me anyway. Bring what you can to me. Lord, I can't give enough to my grandkids. I can't do it. I don't have enough. He says, it's okay, I know. Bring it to me anyway. I'll use it. The disciples say, what good are these for so many? What good are my gifts? What good are this little imperfect offering that I have to give you? What good is it for so many? We only have 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. Jesus says, bring it to me anyway. Have the people recline and relax, and I'll take care of it. This is very close to me because when I was in the Holy Land, for our 3rd year in seminary, we get to go to Israel and Palestine for only 10 weeks. I know, it's a bummer. For only 10 weeks, we get to go to Israel and Palestine and walk where Jesus walked, pray where he prayed, and go to all these holy sites. And in Tabgha, which is where he multiplied the loaves and the fishes, he was standing on the rock that he stood on. There is engraved this emblem of 2 fish and 5 loaves. And I was able to go and pray in that area, and it struck me so much. I bought this little dish made of olive wood that has little wooden fish and loaves to remind me that, okay, Lord, what I have to give you is not enough. But I'm going to give it to you anyway, and you say, I'll do something with it. Join it to me, and I will make it be enough. This story is also very special and important to me because that image stuck with me so much that when I was designing my stoles for, this is a chasuble, this is a stole, and this is an L. We can do that lesson another time. When I was designing my stoles for ordination, you can pick and have them made. I wanted to have the fish and the loaves on it to remind me that all I have to give to priesthood is not enough. But I'll still give it anyway, and God will make it enough. This story is also important to me because I had my mother has a friend named Becky who embroiders and does all sorts of things with cloth. And so I asked her to make these stoles. I picked the color, I picked the gold, I picked the color and the background and everything. Everything was going to be perfect, and it was going to be just enough for what I wanted. Now keep in mind, what I'm about to say next did not come out of my mouth, it stayed in my head. But when my mother presented this to me on the night of my ordination, I said in my head, this isn't right. This isn't the fabric we talked about, Becky. This isn't the right design. What's going on here? And then my mom said, this is part of my wedding dress. All 4 of my stoles with each color have part of her wedding dress sewn into them. That's what this background is. This story is also very important because my friend Teresa of Calcutta, that name happens to be my saint stalker name, I guess. Saint Teresa of Calcutta, Saint Teresa of Avila, and Saint Therese the Little Flower constantly are following me and praying for me and bothering me in all sorts of holy ways. Anyway, to back up seeds that were planted long ago, my grandmother Corrine Krebser, and her sister Teresa. Corrine was the secretary here at St. Joe's for about 15 years, and her sister Teresa, they both grew up here in Mason City. And they both got married here in Mason City. And they both got married here at St. Joe's, and this is the wedding dress that they wore. When they wore the wedding dress, and they gave it on to my mom, who also wore it at her wedding in Independence, and then gave it on to me now. So now when I'm on this altar right here, this wedding dress is right back to when Teresa and when Corrine got married. To make one complete circle of vocational irony, and it is more than enough for me to remember this, to remember that all I have to give to priesthood, all you have to give to parenthood, grandparenthood, studenthood, whatever hood you're in, it's not enough. But when we offer it, God will unite it to his offering of his Son and make it to be more than enough. And one of my favorite parts of Mass, which is coming up, well, they're all my favorite, you're going to hear me say that a lot. We're going to have the offertory gifts be brought forward down the aisle to the altar, and we offer it on the altar. This is just some pocket change and some bucks you threw in. It's just a little bit of wine, and it's just some flat little pieces of bread. But this bread and wine that we offer, this tiny little bit that we give, each of us give a little bit, become a lot. And then we unite it with the sacrifice of Jesus on the altar, on the cross. And it becomes more than enough. Because, as it says in the gospel, it was more than they could eat. And you'll see, as we put all the bread back in the dish, it's called a ciborium. We'll take that back into the tabernacle, because we have way more than we can eat here. Confidence in God can do all things. It is our emptiness and lowliness that God needs, and not our plenitude. It is our emptiness and lowliness that God needs, and not our plenitude. As we go forward into this 17th week of ordinary time, I pray that we all, myself included, we can reflect on how what we have to give is not enough. But when we have the humility, trust, and honesty to unite it with Jesus, it will be more than we can even eat.